Lelisa Desisa of Ethiopia. Second place, Wilson Kipsang of Kenya. And our winner, the time of 2:10:53, also of Kenya, Geoffrey Kamworor. Bring you up here.
Yep, and we're bringing that.
Yep, I know. So, bring that up in a second. We're also going to bring up our top American today and top Masters runner, Abdirahman. And we're going to bring up a man who doesn't need much of an introduction here for the final time in this capacity, Meb Keflezighi. Lelisa, I'd like to start with you. When Wilson and Geoffrey made their move, what went through your head?
Thank you very much. I think try to pass them, but I come from injury. My left leg is tight, you know. Because of that, I try to pass. When I try, I can't. After that, I decided to keep my third place to finish.
Wilson, that was one heck of a kick, those last 200 meters. If you had a little bit more room, would you be wearing the gold today?
Yeah, I think for sure. I can really say that I started my kick a little bit late, but I think if I could really be a bit closer, I think I still felt that I was still very strong, and I think I could really, I could have really outsprinted him in the last finish. But thank you so much. I think I want to congratulate him for having really won, and because he's really very strong, and for him to really make sure that to sustain that pace till the end, I want to say thank you so much.
Abdi, I want to ask you a question. Top American here 2 years in a row, a Masters record at this course today. There's all this talk about, of course, Meb's final race. Shalane has hinted this might be her final race. You're just warming up.
I don't know about the warming up, but you know, we just it's been an amazing day for American distance running again. Shalane winning, and also our legend Meb retiring today. You know, just was amazing just seeing Meb at the front all the way until 30K. You know, just you just never count Meb out. He's been inspirational to me, and he's been a great friend to me. And today, I want to do something special, but you know, unfortunately, I fell down. I think it didn't go my way. But at the same time, you know, just I learned from Meb. He just never gives up, and I told, you know, when I stand up, I saw Meb running with the lead group, and I say, you know what, I'm not gonna let him alone. Today's his last day. I'm gonna keep him company as much as I can. I build up toward the group, and then I get to the front, and I told him I fell down, and he looked at me, he didn't even see it. So, but, you know, and for me, retiring, I don't know, maybe I'm gonna take 1 year at a time. I enjoy running, but I'm not 42 yet, so maybe when I'm 42, I'll think about it.
Geoffrey, you've got 2 World Cross Country Championships, 2 World Half Marathon Championships. How does it feel to finally be able to add marathon winner to that awesome resume?
Okay, first and foremost, for me, I feel great to come back to New York since 2015 when I was second. So this year, my target was really a great result, and I'm really delighted to have won a marathon. So for me, it's a fantastic moment. I really adore, and I'm really happy to win a marathon for the first time since I started running a marathon. This was my sixth marathon, and this was my first victory in marathon.
Meb, you went for it. When you crossed that line, collapse at the finish line? Exhaustion, emotion, a little bit of both?
Well, you know, my going and coming here, thanks to the Neuro Runners for giving me the opportunity to finish my 26th marathon. I'm a student of the sport. I'm fans of those great guys here. And ladies, what a day for America. Shalane Flanagan, you know, just incredible. I heard that she won at 24, and I think I did a jump and with both hands in the air, and but it was just exhaustion, emotion through the course, but the end was just pure exhaustion, and I wanted to get to that finish line, and you know, my goal was to be top 3, to be top 10, and I was up in the front. I went for it, no regrets. In training, I always say success is done in preparation, and I did everything that I can to give it all the opportunities and chance to train in Mammoth Lakes and in San Diego with my mentor Bob Larson. We did everything. Now on the course, you got to run the course, and it was beautiful. You know, victory lap, you can say, to be up in the front, to mix it up with the great runners that the New York runners provide here and set the stage for us. And you know, it's the emotion gets into you to be able to just get to that finish line. And people were commenting, I thought they were waiting for the push-up, but there was no push-up today. That was it. You know, I stopped 4 times, probably 4 or 5 times, just same old usual thing. You know, when you are 42 years old and competing against the best of the world, your body is not right. So, you know, I know that I can say, you know, I gave it all that I had in training, I gave it all that I had today, and New York came out today to support me and all the runners, 50,000 deep, and honored to be here and to get this special medal, 26, to be able to be there. Just, you know, I guess it was meant to be to the finish line, so I'm honored to be here.
Questions for our elite men's field?
Meb, how you doing? Lance Puckmeyer, Los Angeles Times. What was it like for you coming from LA, doing what you did in Boston in the face of terror, and then being back here in New York, you know, days after the recent terrorist attack?
I didn't hear the last part, sorry.
What was it like for you after, you know, what you did in Boston, winning and saluting the victims there, and then running through the streets of New York today and seeing the people here who have been shaken by the terror of this week?
You know, life is a journey, marathon's a journey, but sports is a celebration, and to have the catastrophic moment that we had here at Lower Manhattan, you know, it makes us appreciate that much more for life. And, you know, when you injure, when you come back from a run, you have that much more appreciation. And New York, their resilience, you know, Boston Strong, New York came out today with that electrifying energy and cheer us on, and, you know, we have to move on forward, you know. For me, my life has been to run to overcome, as I said in my book, and it's just, you know, we have to move on somehow, some way, and, you know, you want to be able to pull it out for New York this time around, but, you know, the body, when it's 42 years old, and they made, you know, Germay Selassie, when he made a move, just couldn't have the turnover, and the separation is happening, but then I made it up the ground, and then that was why I collapsed, because you use every energy there is to catch up, and trying to, you know, try to podium, and, you know, you try to inspire others. You know, New York is, I could like to say this is my city, you know, wanted to be able to protect it and just give it a shot, and everybody came, and it was a great turnout. So, you know, Boston winning the victory, having the bibs, the name of the victims on my bib, draw inspiration, and today I tried to kind of give a little bit of that, but, you know, you just got to move on with life, and my heart and prayers and sympathy goes to the family that have been affected and the students, everything that were involved in there.
Abdi, over here. Could you tell us what happened at the early water station and how that affected you?
I don't know what happened. Someone threw me from the back. I didn't know who it was. I just remember just hitting the ground so hard, and I just lay there for a few seconds. It did affect me, you know, just like when you're running a marathon, you need all your concentration, everything that you could get. But that just did break my concentration. And when I got up, it just, my ankle was so painful, my hip was bothering me. But I thought about all the training I've been through past few months, and I say, you know, I could have stopped, just at the 5K mark and get to my hotel room. But what went through my head was my coach, all the people who supported me, all the investment that I made getting ready for this race, and all those thoughts went through my head within a second. And I just started running, trying to build up into the lead group. But I was struggling until the 15, 16 mile with the pain on my ankle and my knee. It did affect me, but it's not an excuse. I give it my best. I give it 110%, and I was 7th, and I'm happy with it.
For those of you who didn't hear the question, Abdi was responding to what happened in that first water stop where he tripped. Question over here.
Geoffrey, how did your experiences in 2015, actually finishing in 2:10:48, close to what you finished today, how did those experiences in 2015 help you today?
Okay, 2015 was my first time running New York City Marathon, and I found the course very exciting and very nice. There are many people to cheer up, so it gives a lot of motivation. So for me today, I knew that it's really a nice course, and I knew that there's enough support. So the little experience I had in 2015 is what I had to put the best into this race.
Right there.
Wilson, as you mentioned, you only lost by 3 seconds. And you think that if you had more space, you maybe could have came out on top. Did you just run out of energy there after the long marathon?
He's asking, how was your energy at the end of the race? Did you feel like you had more? He's asking, how was your energy at the end of the race? Did you feel like you had anything left in the tank? Could you, if the race were 27 miles?
I think, for sure, I want to really say that my energy is good. I was feeling good all from the start, and you could see all along when I could try to push a little bit because, I'm so much used to a fast race, a fast pace. But now, it's a different situation whereby there's no pace at all, so sometimes the pace is becoming slow. There's no one to take up a fast pace. So sometimes you could see I was really trying to push it out a little bit, trying to maintain. But for me, to run such a time, I think I'm not really so much exhausted. But with this kind of weather and with this kind of course, it is worth that time. Thank you.
Geoffrey, Malika Anderson, New York Times. I was wondering, in those last couple of strides that you were taking, you were looking over your shoulder a little bit and peeking who was coming up behind you. What were you thinking during those moments?
For me, I knew that I had made a decisive move, and I knew I was focusing to the finish line. But when I look at the camera, I saw someone was coming, which was Wilson, and I had to believe myself. Because I was so near to the finish, so I had to do my best to make sure that I won, and I really thank God I won.
And just, hi Meb, how are you? Wanted to ask a quick question in terms of the defending champion, Girmay, dropping out. Do you think he had it too strongly after an injury? I know he had an injury and he got surgery done earlier this year. Do you think that caused him to go down, or how did you guys feel about running with him?
I mean, Geoffrey was very strong, and he was in control a lot of the race, just being the lead, and he was confident. And I was surprised that he dropped out, and I saw him. I stopped a couple times, and I encouraged him to go to the finish line. He said he was injured, and I just stopped and gave him a hug and kind of kept going. But I think tactically, there was a lot of surges that were out of your comfort zone, so those can come to bite you at the Central Park. So, that surges, like parlay kind of thing, that probably cost. I mean, Geoffrey here played it very smart. He wasn't in the lead by any means early on. He just played safe, and when it counted, he was able to prevail with the rest. And those quick moves can can catch you, can get you in the marathon, and Gurmai was doing a lot of those.
This question's for Geoffrey and Wilson. Can you guys talk about the maybe the early parts of the race, and were you surprised at how tactical and slow the race did go out?
Wilson, you go first.
Yeah, I think we don't really talk and plan so much because in any race, you find that the only thing that we really want so much is if we want to go for a fast time, we really request one another to support each other during the race, to make sure that we really try to go for a fast time. And then towards the end, whoever is strong will automatically win. But there's no mind discussion of how we should do it, because each and everyone has his own strategy of racing.
Geoffrey, the early pace, how did that feel for you? The early conservative pace?
Okay, I think for me, we had no any planned strategies because it was a competition, and in a competition, everyone runs his own race, and everyone is targeting for a great result, and that's how it was.
Did you ever have a moment? Meb, did you ever have a moment when you thought maybe this could be like Boston, maybe you could go out with a win?
Absolutely. I'm not going to say I didn't. Ambi, there's this, you know, I was in the lead early on, but I was more staying away from the, you know, don't get tripped and be smart. And whenever it was windy, I would tuck in behind. But yeah, I think when we went halfway, I felt comfortable, and I know it's going to be a big deciding factor at one point. And you know, it depends on what stage of the run it is. But you know, I know for me, I'm not too sore right now, whereas the other marathon has been, but it's just when the turnover is fast, I just can't do it. There's no way. Back in the days, in my youth, I can respond, I can react, I can make moves, but I know that none of those were, but part of me being in the front was trying to keep a consistent, even pace for as much as I can. But you know, my goal was if I could make it to 23, 24 mile with the group, and then, you know, the crowd may give me a little boost. So obviously at 22 or 21, 22 is when I stopped, and 3 other stops. So goal, that chance maybe less than 1% or 1% chance, that 0.2 of a marathon, and a slight chance, but it has to be, everything has to go perfect, and it didn't. And goal was to be maybe top 10 and the top 3, but you play by ear and see by feel, and getting to that finish line was very important to me though, and honored to be here.
Meb, Shailene called you the absolute role model and said she was thinking of you sort of the last few miles, and I think that's sort of a fair assessment. How do you feel sort of being the standard bearer for American distance runners the last, I don't know, 15 years?
It's an honor to be called the role model. You know, is when Wilson here, you know, how often do you have, first time we came in, he says, hey, let's take a picture together. You know, he'd ask for that, you know, and Geoffrey Mutai in the past in front of Mary Wurtemberg was, you're my hero. It's an amazing respect that we have for each other, and Shailene and I have been texting a lot since the Mammoth, and emailing each other as much word of encouragement, and I just couldn't be happier for her. You know, I'm like, on top, she deserves one of those, and whether it's here or Boston, and I'm so delighted for her. And 98, 20 years almost ago, I wanted to be at the resurgence of U.S. distance running. Is what I wrote the company, is what I did on UCLA, and I needed the support to hopefully do that, and to see it here, still compete, be in the same street with her and the others, Americans that have done well. It's just a great honor, and you know, but my time has come where time to pass on the torch, and so delighted for her to be able to just pull the victory, and I'm honored. I'm really honored, and standing ovation by the coaches, agents, male, female, and peers at the technical meeting means a lot to me, because that's what the sport is. When you get the love and respect of your peers, you know, you done the best you can, and they look at your role model. So definitely honor.
We have 26 marathons worth of memories to talk about here, so we could be here all day, and we might. But before we move on, any questions for Abdi, Lelisa, Wilson, or our 2017 TCS New York City Marathon champion, Geoffrey? Right there, sir.
Geoffrey, just to touch on one of the previous questions, when you were peaking and looking back and you could feel Wilson coming, did you feel you needed to pick up your pace, or did you think you had enough to maintain to get across the finish line?
He's asking if
when Wilson,
Geoffrey's asking if you felt you needed to pick up the pace there, those last 400 meters as you came into the park and Wilson was coming on quick.
Okay, I think when I will at the syndrome at the back there, I saw at the screen and I saw Wilson coming. So what was in my mind is that I had to believe myself that I'm a track runner and I should have enough speed to sprint. So I had that belief.
Thank you very much. I am Solomon with the Voice of America. My question goes to Meb. Congratulations to all of you for a successful finish. But Meb, you are such a celebrated man, and though you are retiring today from being an active competitor on the marathons, what would be your next plan in life?
He's asking what's your next role in life?
You know, it's always an honor to run. It's an honor to represent the United States on all levels, the cross-country level, track, marathoning. For 27 years, my life has been what is next, what is next. But for me, coaching is an interest, especially at colleges. Motivational speaking, sharing my story and my family is another one. But also the Meb Foundation, maintaining excellent balance through health, education, and fitness at the bottom of my heart that I can give back because the sport has given me so much to me. And I'm in a position to make a difference with the medal in the Olympics, winning Boston, winning New York. What's next is to spend my time with my wife and kids. You know, my parents just prayed for me to have a healthy life, to be able to enjoy time with their family because I missed out on a lot. I sacrificed a lot. But there's been so many people behind the scene that who made me be who I am, the man that I am. And including my mentor Bob Larson, my brother Howie, and then my wife, she put her life on pause working to be able to help me be as an athlete. So now that has come to an end. And you know, I always believe surround yourself with good people. God has a plan for me, whatever that destination might be. I just hope to follow that path that He has laid in front of me. You know, it was '98. I wrote a letter to people to just say, help me do this, to accomplish those things. That's been accomplished. Now I'm prayerful, thankful for those opportunities to help others. So, you know, to be able to pace people and have marathon or shorter races, and maybe occasionally do marathon just to bring awareness or charity is to help people is I can do those. And in training for this marathon, I've done like, you know, 6, 7 long runs that are 20 or more miles. So I think I would like to jump in the races and make a difference.
Final call for questions for our top 3 finishers and our top American today. Any more for Meb? Any more for Meb? Any more questions for Meb?
You could also go outside and grab it.
Oh, we've got one right here.
Well, last question.
So this will be our last question.
Meb, what are you going to miss most about competition?
What are you going to miss most about competition?
Yes.
You know, when you are known as a competitor, when you have the grit to just pull it off, the victories, at that young age it's doable. As you get older, it's not doable. So like today, my mind says go, but my body says you can't go. competition is what makes all of us great. What I'm going to miss is that the friendship that I make with fellow competitors. I'm going to miss definitely the VIP service from the New York runners. I grew up with 3-bedroom, 1 bathroom. They gave me the presidential suite for my family and for me. So it's very humbling to know where your background is, where you came from, to have escalated to this level, and they've done everything that I can remember ever since I won the medal for the United States, first-class service. So I'll definitely miss that part. But competition, you know, you look back to the 10K or cross country and those things, you think about it, you know, compare yourself to others. But I don't look back. I said no regrets. That's why I did everything that I can in training and in competition today to conclude my career. And you look back and live. I'm a fan of the sport. I look vicariously for the next Americans to rise up and the next other world stage runners. So I'm still a student of the sport and a fan of the sport.
Abdi, Abdirahman, Lelisa, Desisa, Wilson Kipsang, Geoffrey, Kamworor, and of course, Meb Keflezighi.
Thank you.
All right, guys, you can put the mics on the chairs.